Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ivy League Chicago Cubs podcast. I am Marco Santana out here in beautiful, sunny, 80-degree Orlando, Florida. Ethan Davis is out there in my home state of Illinois. And Rob Osterman, you are there in Savannah, Georgia. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing this week?
It's 60 degrees in Illinois. I could not be better.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
Nice. We're doing all right. Getting ready for the wild St. Patty's Day this coming week.
Right. Yeah, that's man, once you get a certain age, you don't give a shit anymore. But no, that's exciting for the Irish, my Irish friends. That's awesome.
My brother's Patrick, and his birthday is on Sunday.
Oh, there you go.
So my parents didn't put that in consideration when they named him.
Right.
I swear.
Well, good luck to you too. Good luck surviving a birthday on St. Patrick's Day weekend as well. So, does he live near you or no?
What was that?
Does he live near you or no?
Yeah, we both live in the same town, so it'll
Okay.
be fun. We're throwing him a surprise birthday party. So he's not going to watch this, so he won't know.
I was gonna say we might ruin the surprise for him. So, don't let him watch this. So,
Yeah.
through the season, we're gonna talk about this obviously throughout the rest of the next hour. But yeah, give me your thoughts heading into game week.
Well, it's against the best team that's defending a World Series title. But something to note, it is Roki Sasaki's first start on Wednesday. So I'm just hoping for a split. I'd be so happy if we walked away from next week with a split,
Yeah,
given how, the Dodgers roster is what, 850 million?
yeah.
Insane like that.
Something
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, split would be fine. Be a decent start to the season. I'm interested to see Sasaki pitch. It's, I watched a couple of pretty substantial highlight reels of him before he signed, back when we thought there might be a chance he would come
Right.
to us, and he looks good. He's got some really intriguing stuff, and at his age, I think he's primed to make an impact for a while.
Well, he's highly touted for a reason, right? You don't get touted that way unless you're
Right.
performing.
He's got a moving fastball that hits triple digits. Like he is filthy. I'm just hoping
That's
the jitters get
disgusting.
to him.
That's disgusting.
If you remember, Yoshinobu Yamamoto had his first start last year in Japan, and he got rocked. And then he
Yeah, I mean that's the
figured
thing.
it out. So
You just never know how these things are going to go. Obviously, we all want 2-0. A part of me also wants 0-2 just to see how many Cubs fans jump off the bandwagon after 2 freaking games.
Immediately.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't want that, but if it happens, we'll have some fun to talk about next week because I think it's hard because as baseball fans, actually, as like a fan of all sports, you don't think about 0-2 in the NFL is a lot. We talked. I think we talked about this last week, but 0-2 in the NFL is a lot different than 0-2 in a 162 game season. So, at the same time, I don't want to lose 12-1 each game. You know what I mean? But it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited to see the new look Cubs. Right? Shaw. We'll talk about later. Of course, he got onto the roster and or going out to Japan, and we got Tucker showing off. But back to our guys. Just Seiya is going to be out there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I really expect to see a lot of chanting, very soccer-like stadium feel.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. Japan baseball atmosphere is crazy. So I'm a little disappointed about having to get up at 5 in the morning, but I'm thinking Tuesday is going to be chorizo tacos, and I think I'm going
There
to do
you
some
go.
omelets on Wednesday. Do a little
It's
special
Yeah.
breakfast for opening week.
going to be fun. Rob, what's your routine going to be?
For those games?
Yeah, if are you going to watch them live? I'll probably watch
Oh
them later.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'll watch them live. I get up about that time anyway, usually.
Yeah, that's a time I rarely see.
Yeah, I got to get ready for long days again, starting this coming week.
Right. You got the accounting
But-
thing going.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean,
I'll watch them on my way into work probably.
For those of you who are watching, and we're hoping it's a few of you. Later on, we're gonna have our predictions. We're gonna have our, put it down on record. Enough of this BS. You know what? We're gonna make our official predictions, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys say. We were ready to coast into the season with who we have, and then I'm not sure if it's official yet. Has it been like? Has the dotted line been signed? Are they breaking apart? There's all day. There's been this rumor about Lance Lynn, about whether we're going to pick him up. I'm assuming that's depth. What you think, guys? I mean, you can never have too many arms, is my take. But at the same time, it's like, do you want someone who's not been there at all spring training to all of a sudden come up on your roster?
I don't normally. I'm in the camp of never having too much pitching, but he's not been atrocious ERA wise the last 2 years, but he's given up an awful lot of home runs. I thought, over the last couple of years,
60 home runs. And less than 200 innings pitched in the past 2 years.
That's crazy. Well, at least Wrigley Field keeps him in the park, right? It's a large field.
Not Lance Lynn's homers, though. Those find a way.
No, that was sarcasm, man. No, Wrigley's still a homer field, so having him. But the thing is, I think I took this as I think I took an interesting angle on this because you like what you have. Like we talked about this already. We like our bullpen. We like the fact that we have 8 arms at least that can start. So it's a nice little puzzle for Craig Counsell to put together. This tasted more like a Cubs last October signing. Let's give him a year and see if he let's see if he sticks, right? Or someone from last year where he's like even the Drew Smiley was like, let's just give him some money and see maybe he'll perform. He ended up performing halfway decent for the most part, although he had a rocky part of each season. But I don't know. I'm not necessarily like excited. Lance Lynn doesn't really excite me. At the same time, it's like maybe the Cubs feel that Cubs brass feels like they are where they want to be. So now you can get back to this whole take a flyer on this veteran that might or might not work out. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that take?
I'd say it depends on the kind of deal it is. I mean, if it's a minor league deal, sure. If we can get him to sign a minor league, but I don't even know I don't know how that works exactly. I don't know if he can sign a minor league deal.
I think they said that he has to sign a major league deal.
Yeah, I thought so because he's got so much service time or whatever. But I don't know. I just don't see signing him to the roster expecting him to stick for the whole year.
Unless someone's in it that we don't know about.
Yeah, but I mean, if he has to take a roster spot, I just don't think he's worth it. I think we have better options for a 5th starter.
Yeah.
And with him giving up those home runs, and I pay attention to the Cardinals and the Brewers, right? Because I want to talk shit. And dude, the Cardinals just in his tenure with them, I felt like it was once every other start he was costing him a game with the big homer, and I just I'm excited about this season. I don't want any signings that are going to take away from that excitement, and a Lance Lynn signing definitely would. If it was a minor league deal, I'd be okay with it. But you bring up a good point, Rob. He does have enough major league service time. He has to sign a major league deal.
At the same, they have some roster flexibility too because of the Japan thing. I think. Again, though, you have to get them in camp right away. I don't know. The funny thing is, it's not official that I've seen. Have you guys seen any sort of official word? No. I knew they were talking about it, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. We got time, but we got time. We got the games coming next week. I don't have that much time, but anyway, Rob, what are your thoughts on just just kind of how our bullpen is shaping up. I'm excited. We've been talking about this for a while. Now it's like, put up or shut up, right? Coming into next week.
Yeah, we Keaton Thompson getting released there or
Yeah,
getting
that was a big one.
DFA'd. I was honestly, he was one of those that when I was putting together my own personal roster, I was torn on him because he's got decent stuff. He's got a decent track record. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, for sure.
But there just didn't seem to be any room for him.
Yeah.
A
good problem to have. We'll say it every week.
Yeah. I'm excited. Obviously, we're all excited. I wonder what's going to happen with Tyson Miller there.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little bit of a rough spring, and I'm wondering if they're not looking to move on from him as well.
I hope not, man. I hope not. I mean, rough springs are one thing, but this guy showed he had it when it counted last year, and I know that's he's not like a 22-year-old kid that you're hoping that gets it this year. He's I think he's a sticking point in the bullpen. Ethan, what do you think?
I agree with you. I think Tyson Miller is a great pickup. He was last year, and he showed he got it when it mattered. A bad spring from a proven big leaguer doesn't concern me as much as it does a young guy like Dansby Swanson. His first year with the Cubs, his spring training was horrible, and then he, at that first couple months in 2023, he was on fire. So I don't look too much into the spring.
Hey, you guys,
and mind you, I don't say Tyson Miller because I dislike him.
Yeah,
just I think we get to bring 16 pitchers or something to Japan. So we're going to have to lose a couple of the guys that we're going to see those first two games.
Right.
They're going to have to get off the roster somewhere, somehow. Now, is that Palencia and
listen,
somebody else? I don't know.
Craig Counsell gets paid millions of dollars because he has to make these decisions. We can just sit here and talk about them. So I'm all good with what he does. But yeah, man, I mean, each of the guys that are on this potential roster, I think, just have upside. And I think that to me is what's really exciting when it comes to just getting this thing going. And speaking of that, they're going to Japan. Did you guys see this video of Seiya Suzuki?
Cutting the baseball in half with a samurai sword?
Was it baseballs?
Yeah, I think it was baseballs. They just had a pitch machine, I think. And it was just like, first of all, I didn't know that was a sharp freaking sword. That had to be legit. Yeah. That was total, that was a
shit right there.
Yeah, and he just sliced the crap out of all his balls. Like I like the thing about Seiya, and I think he doesn't get enough credit for this. Despite his ups and downs, just to put it mildly, he's always had this positive spirit, right? He's always been a good clubhouse guy. People love him. He jokes around a lot. Remember when he was playing when he was so excited to get that baseball in the dugout?
Yeah, that was
like a hilarious moment from his time here. Like I love that energy, and seeing him kind of like, play around a little bit with this culture. That was pretty cool. I mean, what do you guys think when you saw that video?
Badass. There was a
right.
Badass. Like the aura that had to cut
right.
the baseball in half. Like it was. I watched it like 5 or 6 times in a row back to
back. Right.
Like, this is so freaking cool.
right.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think about that?
I mean, it was a cool video. Super, super nifty that they were able to make that work. Just hope his swing is as accurate with the lumber.
I was gonna say the fact that he hit a baseball with a samurai sword and cut it out. I mean, it's got to say the swing was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Let's talk. I want to talk about this. one of the new Cubs coaches calling PCA, right? It's the PCA moment of the week, which we'll probably have every single week for the rest of the year, and deservedly so. Um, you know, he's just gotten this crazy aura already, right? People look at him and they see he's a hustler. He hustles. Um, I actually saw him on a most overrated list, and as soon as I saw that, I unfollowed that account because that's just stupidity.
It
You
is.
know, when you look at PCA, just kind of getting all these you know flowers, if you will, from everybody and anybody and everybody. I mean, we already have the idea that he's going to just blow the hell up, right? This
Excuse me?
this season, and I'm excited to see what the final numbers look like. They have to be better than last year, and last year was not terrible, and especially second half last year. If he can get off to a start this year, like he got, like he was on a tear last year at the end. This could. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna. It's hard. It's hard to predict 300, right? Especially in today's world with maybe 10 players in all of Major League Baseball have that number, 10, 15 at the most. Um, but he has that rare speed that turns outs into hits, right?
Yeah.
You know, a part of us might get tired of talking about him every week, but I'm not tired yet. Ethan, give me a just as we're getting closer. You know, I'm excited to see. I'm actually excited to see him play in a new stadium that I haven't seen him play in. Right next week.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I'll never get tired of talking to PCA. I think he's a true everything player, and him having a good spring means more to me because he is a young guy. He
Yeah,
did catch his groove at the end of last year, and so far this year, I mean, in spring, he's hitting 520, uh, and he's got 10 RBI, 9 runs,
that's not a
6
real
hits,
number, man.
and a whopping 1.540 OPS in 9 games. That's nuts. I don't care if it's spring training. If
Yeah,
somebody was left on a good note last year and they have a good spring, that's when you're like, okay, we're gonna have a fun season.
and he had a 2 homer game this week, so it's not even like his power's coming
One
around
of them
too.
being a grand slam.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He's got, I mean, he's got um, the strong potential if he plays the way he has been in spring. He's got the potential to get some MVP votes, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's not
I
far
think
fetched.
I think he's probably realistically looking at taking away the awesome eventuality that he is MVP candidate. But I think
yeah,
a solid expectation for him this year would be like 260, 330, 320 even,
yeah, yeah.
with 15 to 20 homers.
Yeah, I think
I'd be happy if
yeah.
that's where he wound up.
I think he gets all-star votes. He might even be like the sixth outfielder or something in the outfield in all-star tallies because I think he's going to surprise people who aren't from Chicago. I think a lot of people look at him and what he did and they think it's a fluke, and that's okay. It's a young kid who did crap the year before, and then you get him doing this, and you're wondering, is that real? His sophomore slump has to come, but I, I'm not. I think there's an old saying like speed doesn't slump, right?
No,
You have
Truth.
speed that gets you through a lot. You go 0 for 7, just drop a bunt down, you're 1 for 8, and there you go. You're out of your slump. I think yeah. So like I've been seeing some things about him about just the excitement around the league, just watching him. But so like I said, people who don't watch this team every day like we do, they may not know just how good PCA is, and I think I'm excited to see. I mean, this first 2 games in Japan are going to be great for his recognition alone if he can break out in like some insane 2 game stat sheet, you know?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of the young guys. They're going to be feeling that pressure of, oh, I'm on a world stage. I got to
Right.
perform, and I'm excited to see who will and who won't.
Yeah, I think what we're going to look at, like we said before, we have a good mix of young and old. So like you said, you could end up being kind of nervous to handle that world stage because it's a global stage. It's not like
It
it's not
is.
it's even more than like an all-star game. It is a global stage, um, and I'm excited to see kind of what they how they do, how the young kids do, and how the veterans kind of help them through that. Rob, any thoughts on
Pete's
PC?
uh,
Before we move on? Yeah,
Pete's a character, man. If you watch his interviews,
yeah.
he's he's a fun guy, and I think he'll handle it well at least.
So before we
Um,
move on to kind
Same with Shaw
of
though, really.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, well, Shaw's interesting. We've seen a lot more of him lately as far as interviews go, and now that he's back in on the field, back in the lineup. First of all, like what a way to come back. I mean, he's also raking a little bit right now. Makes forces council to bring him to Japan. And you look at that. That's going to be that corner. The corners of the infield are going to be very interesting to see how they do this year at the plate. And are we a team that ends up like in the top 7 or 8 for runs per game? Do we end up, what I mean, like, do we run a little more? I think Shaw has a little bit of speed, a little sneaky speed as well. Just all these factors we're talking about all come around to what we were talking about before. Is like it's just insanity. How good this team is. And it's like you don't want to believe it because you're a Cubs fan and you've been disappointed so many times before. So it's like, but yeah, we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. I think I'm pretty excited about this whole thing. Rob, we're going to talk a little bit about prediction, but what are your final thoughts, kind of as we move on? Seeing Shaw on the roster, having this roster, obviously Gage Workman, they're both saying some really nice things about each other. Going into next week's games, I mean, what's the feeling there from you?
I think uh, I think what I'm looking for out of this next week or two, or at least this week,
Yeah,
is to see if uh, Vidal Brujan gets to keep his roster slot when Nico comes back.
yeah. I mean,
Which I think we've probably only got room for either Brujan or Birdie, realistically.
yeah.
So I think one of them's got to go, and I'm looking real hard at them this week to see who I think is
Yeah.
gonna get gone.
Well, it'll be an interesting decision council has to make, and I think Ethan, where are you leading on that one?
I think Birdie's going to get the final spot.
Yeah.
I just Bruhan's had a great spring, and he's definitely he can play all over the infield, and I think he's even played some outfield too, if I'm not wrong.
He played center.
Yeah, he's defensively he's great, but he's got a below average negative WAR bat, and that I just feel like somebody like John Birdie, who's been a proven at least league average or above hitter and proven to steal 40 plus bags in a season, I think he's going to get the edge over him. But it'll be interesting to see. I think these next 2 games are going to tell a lot of the first couple weeks of April, what those teams are going to look like. So I'm excited.
Well, I'm really curious about. I mean, we could, not to get ahead of myself, but I think we could be up there in stolen bases this year.
I think we could be top 10 in stolen bases, pitching, offense, and defense. I think it's all possible. I think we're
Yeah.
going to be a top 3 defensive team. I think we're going to have 3 or 4 Gold Glovers, and that's a bit of a daunting statement, but it's
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't think he's wrong though.
Right.
Honestly, I mean, you're looking at potentially a Gold Glove outfield.
Well, we had 3
Full
last
stop.
year. We had 3 last year, right? All
You know.
you're doing is, can we add PCA and Tucker? Because Tucker got one too. We literally had 4 of our
Yeah.
guys on the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
we could be looking at a Gold Glove outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
And
eight
Gold
Gold
Glove
Gloves
middle
minus,
infield.
minus the catcher.
Well, yeah, right. And they'll give Seiya one just for not being on the field.
Participation trophy. Thanks for
Right, there you go. There you go. Guys, we are gonna beat this horse until it's dead. Wait, we're beating the dead horse, right? We don't want to beat the horse until it's dead. That's when we're murdering a horse. But we're gonna beat this dead horse, and that is our lineup predictions. You know, we have got this. Remind me again. You guys always have to remind me, even though I can just Google it. I'd rather be authentic with our audience. Actually, I'm just too lazy. 18th and 19th, is that the day, or 17th and 18th?
18, 19.
18, 19. Okay, so we're talking
Tuesday
next.
the
It's not-
18th. Yep.
It's not on St. Patty's.
So next
on the
Tuesday and
17th.
Wednesday. That's right. So
Yep.
next Tuesday and
Yeah.
Wednesday. So we got a few days left. You know, I think Hap is definitely on the top of the lineup. And give me a little bit of your ideas of where this lineup goes, because I think I think I saw someone say PCA at 7. I think he's at 9.
I'm gonna.
to flip the lineup.
I've got my lineup made. This is what I honestly, genuinely think
Go for it.
it'll be. I got Hap leading off. He had 9 home runs in the leadoff spot last year.
Mhm.
High OBP, no reason to remove him from there. I think Tucker's at number 2. I think Horner will be number 3, and I think it'll be a tandem of somebody, whoever's in second base. Now this is more so for opening day when Horner's back.
Right.
Versus Japan. But then I got Suzuki in the 4 hole. I think a Bush Turner combo at number 5, Shaw and Workman at 6, and I think Swanson's gonna be in the 7th spot until he proves he can go up higher. And we've got PCA at 8 and Amaya at 9. So
there's a couple things there that I would really disagree with. Number one is I think Council is in love with PCA at 9, because he loves to have, like, it's almost like a second leadoff hitter, like when he gets down to that part of the lineup. I also think Nico comes up at number 2, because I think you have Ian Happ, because Ian Happ's great all around, and that's what you want up there. I think Nico had a better position, chance of giving Tucker and Suzuki 2 men on, nobody out in the first inning. I like his, and not to mention both those guys can go real deep and really work a pitcher like right away. As far as like you could get 15 to 16 pitches just out of those first 2 players, and just get them on their heels already. I like Nico's pitch selection. So I mean, the rest of it sounds okay, but I think those 2 are probably where I would not necessarily disagree, but because I mean no one knows except Council. But I'm curious. I think that's what it's going to look like.
well, and my thing with Nico is I hope this year they let him be a singles hitter.
Yeah.
If he's a singles hitter and he's 2 or 3 spot, I'm happy. But quit trying to make him hit for power. He can't.
Yeah,
Okay?
100%.
Knock it off. Let him be a
100%.
singles hitter. Let him be a Pete Rose. Just hit the singles.
Right. Well, not Pete Rose. No one is ever going to be Pete Rose, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you get the memo.
Yeah.
Rob.
So I've got Tucker at 2 behind Hap. And then I've actually got Seiya 3rd and Bush batting cleanup. Bush, Workman, Turner, Shaw, all kind of a toss-up. I think that cleanup is going to be Bush or Suzuki to start the year, though. Kind of in my mind, I had it like the 3-4 was Seiya and Bush.
Yeah.
And then Nico at 5, Dansby at 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Nico at 5, Dansby at 6, and then Shaw, Amaya, PCA.
I like that Nico idea, but I almost gotta say, I don't know. I think if Bush gets off the hot start, he could be a really good 5, a really good protector for whoever we have at 4. I think Nico, however, does get the bat on the ball, so I could see that as well. I think that's why you bring him up higher. But anyway, either way, though, I mean, I think it's a deep lineup, guys, and this is the most important thing to get out of this. It's a deep lineup. We're going. I mean, even Amaya's second half last year, right? Even if he gets close to what he was second half last year, we're running 9 deep, man.
If he's gonna be a league average hitter, we're running 9 deep.
Yeah, Nico is going to be a real interesting one to see where he starts the season, because I mean, I think he'd be fine batting down in the order, and you could apply your same theory to putting him close to PCA. You know, you're not going to be careful of Nico, and then that puts somebody speedy right before PCA so that he doesn't run somebody over. You know, there's lots of places Nico could go, and which is a good problem. Again, we're just full of good problems right now.
Yeah, and again, all this is all of these questions will be answered on Tuesday or Wednesday. Actually, not really, because Nico's not there yet, but so he was going to have to wait for the first day. Yeah, I'm excited though. I think this could be a good. I want to see the Cubs get off to a good start. And by the way, by good start, I mean like after 20 games, I'm even okay with like 11-9, 12-8. You know what I mean? Like that I think last year, if I recall, I think we buried ourselves a little bit early, or am I thinking about?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
No, that was back-to-back years we did it. Yeah.
Blown saves. Yeah. Last year was the blown saves that buried us.
Like I said, this year I just want like nice, easy 11-9, 12-8 start. Potentially
we played the most 1-1 games last year. If it wasn't for the bad bullpen and blown saves,
100%.
We would definitely be a playoff team. And we've improved the bullpen. We've gotten Kyle Tucker. Like, PCA's in his sophomore year. It's game on, baby. It is game on.
As long as PCA don't go through a software slump, but again, speed doesn't slump. I don't believe. I don't believe it does. So that's going to be, again, we'll see how much of that we got right on opening day. And I'm just excited about it as well. So the other thing about this, you know, heading into the season, and this is the exciting thing about like being in the episode right before the season starts, it's like these, you know, it's finally okay to talk about the NL Central, right? It's finally okay because these games are going to start counting toward the stands, of course. It's funny because I think a lot of people are looking at the Reds right now.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. They're very young and dynamic. I mean, they are. I think they've surpassed the Brewers. The Brewers have done some like cosmetic moves this year for the most part, or this offseason for the most part. I don't know if they've done enough to keep themselves even in the running. I saw the predictions, or not. There's some like projection models have the Cubs in like the 92 range and like the second most at like 79. So they think the Cubs might run away with this. I think the Reds are going to be tough just because they're so young, and especially people. They have like a series of kids like De La Cruz, and what I mean by that is they're potentially 200 hitters or 300 hitters. You know what I mean? There's such a wide range of who they could be this year that it's hard to predict. But I do think they're going to put enough together. I think the Pirates upped a little bit. They're, I mean, hell, we might see the Brewers go down to fourth place. I don't know.
See, I think the Pirates are gonna. The Pirates have such a good rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Skeens, Keller, who's that other guy? Jarrett Jones and Bailey Falter. They're exciting as far as pitching goes,
right?
And they've got a lot of young guys too out on the field that should theoretically be kind of all starting to peak or approaching their peak together. So I think if anybody's a dark horse, it's the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Very underappreciated fielding roster, I'd say for most folks, and everybody gets wrapped up in Paul Skeens.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
Rightfully so.
Do you think the Central gets just one team in the playoffs? Don't ride a fence. It's early. We're all going to be wrong, obviously, but
Oh yeah, I know. Somebody's got to be wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really see. I don't see what the pundits are saying about the Reds as totally true. I don't like them that much. They've got a good roster.
I think they'll compete in the Central. But I do think it's one and done for the. Or not one and done, but it's one team in, because I mean the other divisions have also done some work.
I think it's one team and it's us.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know. I think the Reds are going to be the biggest threat besides us.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz, if he just cuts down on his strikeouts, I think he's got the potential to be a superstar. That's just his Achilles heel, is he's had a lot of like 3 or 4 strikeout games. And
Well,
he'll an all or nothing offensive guy.
He kind of falls in love with himself, doesn't he? Like when he goes on a tear, he just, next thing you know, he is just swinging out of his boots every single like, no matter what the count is, no matter where the pitch is, he's looking for a 480-foot home run every single time.
Yeah, I know for sure. And I do agree with what you said about the Pirates. For me, it's going to be the Cubs. I do think we're going to win the division, but I think it'll be Cubs, Reds, Pirates, Brewers, Cardinals.
The Cardinals are there too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Cardinals had the same record as us last year, but like they didn't really do much this offseason, and I don't really have faith in their pitching rotation. I don't trust the young guys for the Cardinals enough. The Brewers got rid of Devin Williams and Willie Adames, 2 of their most prominent players.
That's the thing,
Reds
right?
have had a sneaky good offseason. They've had some good depth pieces. I don't know. I just think Pirates, though, I almost don't want them to be good for the sake of their fans, because it's the endless cycle for the Pirates. They get some good players. They get 1 or 2 good years. Those players start asking for money, and then bye from the Pirates, Barry Bonds, and it's an endless curse.
I mean, you say Barry Bonds, but there are dozens of players over the years that happened to, and I think I hope, I don't know what his contract status is, but I hope, like, I'm kind of with you on that, Ethan. Like, I kind of hope Skeens is there his whole career, right? I hope they finally find somebody that they can kind of rally around and just get, because I mean that place sucks to go to watch a game in the middle of the day when no one's there, right? And same with Cincy, frankly, in the middle of the day. But like they have a good legacy, but it's been like so long since they've done anything competitive, and it sucks for the fans. But like I said, Skeens is a great young arm to build around. And didn't they just re-sign someone this offseason to a multiple year contract? Was that them or was it the Reds? I know it's a vague question, but I know they
might have been Mitch Keller that signed his extension, but I can't think of
it.
Okay, because I thought one of the guys signed for like a 4 or 5 year deal, which is like unheard of for either of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the Cardinals doing much with a rotation featuring Sonny Gray and Miles Mikolas. I mean, they both have had good seasons. I don't.
I think I could bet. I think I could bet 200 against Mikolas.
Yeah, Mikolas.
I'm not too impressed by him at all.
Mikolas is a bum, man. I don't like him. And they're fielders. Their batters are just all kind of They could be good, and I'm sure some of them will surprise us. Jordan Walker's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, but
Mason Wynn.
Depends how you define fun, because I'm not gonna have fun when he's beating the shit out of Cubs bullpen. But yeah, no, he's gonna. I like his potential. If I were a Cardinals fan, for sure. I think. But you know what? I mean, ultimately, I think when you look at gentlemen, it's all lining up. Everything's lining up for the Cubs to have a really special season. But both with what we have on our roster and also what we have to compete with. What we got to do is just make sure we do well outside the division. Because if we do okay outside the division, we could be looking at a not that baseball is that important of a higher seed in the playoffs, but you might have a home series if you are able to do okay outside the division because we could beat up on our own division pretty nicely, I think. Um, but that is something we are going to determine over the next. I'm looking at the calendar. It is over the next 6 months, 6.5 months.
Yep.
We're going to see just how prescient we are, guys. Speaking of that, this is going to be the official. I'll put a trademark sign on the screen or something. The official Ivy League predictions for the Chicago Cubs win total. We've talked about this a little bit offline about what we're thinking. We might have even mentioned it in the previous episode, but Vegas has us as 86 last I checked. They are predicting the Cubs to go 86 and 76, which I think is ridiculous. But again, I might just be like rose-colored glasses. Where are you guys on that? I imagine all three of us are over 86.
Yes.
And I think if I recall, one of us is way over 86. Another was a little more reserved. Ethan, we're going to start with you because we're going to go alphabetical by last name, and also whatever. You go first.
No, I think we have the potential to be a 95 win team. People just totally counted the Cubs out as serious playoff contenders just because of how the past couple of years are going. Well, last year we had all those blown saves, and I think it was like 25 one-run games, and I just
we had the
think
most.
if we get half of those back, I just with all the off-season moves, I think Presley and Hodge are going to be a nice 1-2 combo. And the nice thing with that too, another thing people aren't really talking about is you don't have to put Presley out there every night and every save opportunity. Like you don't need to break your back end arms. You have options, which is something we didn't last year. We almost threw Mark Leiter's arm off again and traded him. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so I don't know. I'm gonna.
Well, no, that what's crazy is like you can almost play matchups in the ninth inning. Even it's not left right, but it's more like who has this guy have experience against. Obviously, Presley's going to be the guy out the bullpen on the regular at the beginning of the season, right? But down the road, we start seeing more about how hitters are, what kind of hitters Hodge is having success against, and Presley. Now Council might have that opportunity to play matchups in the ninth inning, which is not common.
No, it's not, and I also think the other thing too is that if you're a Cubs fan, you have the choice to be one of two things: overly optimistic and overly pessimistic. I will always be the overly optimistic because being delusional, in my opinion, is part of being a Cubs fan, and I will.
Sure.
That's my statement. I'm sticking to it.
So, what is your official number? 95.
Yep, I'm going to go with 95.
Okay, Rob, I get last dibs because I'm the host. We're all hosts, but I mean, you know what I mean. Rob, let's talk a little bit about your number.
I have 94 written down.
Okay. Defend it.
The defense is that we've got. I mean, something we've already talked a whole bunch about. Our rotation is stronger than it was last year at the beginning of the season. Our bullpen is twice as strong as it was last year at the beginning of the season. We've got an everyday center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 4 everyday outfielders, basically, that could start on any team in the league, just about. Dansby doesn't show any signs of slowing in the defensive capacity. Amaya is hopefully going to continue his track. PCA is going to continue his track. I mean, the only question marks for me here are Shaw and Nico. What's Nico going to look like when he comes back from surgery? But you know what? I don't even care, really. We can throw Shaw at second, Gage Workman at third, or Gage at second, whatever. We've got
Stop trying to
options.
manifest that, Rob. It's not happening. Nico's are every day.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if he comes back and he's still hurt, we're going to have to figure out something a little more permanent. Birdie, too. I keep forgetting about Birdie.
There's that flexibility we haven't had in a long time.
Just everything is better than it was last year at this point. So
which is why we're all so excited.
Confident that we can win. What would that make it? 8 more games?
I think so.
7 more?
No, that'd be 11. That's 11 more, dude.
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 82 last year.
83 and 74. Or 83 and 79 for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think 11 games is doable.
I am going to disagree with both of you, obviously. I'm going with 103. No, just kidding. I'm going to go.
Wouldn't make me mad.
I'm actually going. I'm going 90, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you guys are right. Right, that goes without saying, I think. But it's been very exciting to watch spring training, and everything that you just said, Rob. I obviously, as we've gotten to know each other over the last 6 weeks or 6 episodes, I agree with that. Everything you just said 100%. But I think there's other teams that are doing work as well, that are going to be, going to come up a little bit. And I do think the Cubs win the division. I do think they're the only team in the Central to make the playoffs. But I think their number is more around 90. They are solid at every position. They're not exceptional at every position. And I think when you're talking about 95 games, 94, 95 games, I know it's only a 4 or 5 game difference, but you're talking about almost in today's baseball, that's elite level. And I don't know if the Cubs are quite there yet. I mean, I like what they're doing, what they've done. I think I think Ethan, you pointed out all the blown saves from last year, man. You get rid of those. We win 90 games last year. I mean, there's no getting around it. Any either non-Cubs fan or someone who just wants to doubt the Cubs, they can laugh all they want, but it's mathematics, right? We don't blow 5 or 6 of those saves. We're at 88, 89 games won. So your numbers aren't. I'm not saying your numbers are out of the question, like 95 or 94. I do think though we will still have some setbacks. Kudos to the front office though, they did address the bullpen, which was if they did nothing but address the bullpen, we'd have a few wins more. But the fact they went out and got Tucker over to replace Bellinger, whether we admit it or not, that's what happened. And the way Shaw looks preseason or spring training makes me hopeful as well. The fact that Gage Workman came out of nowhere, relatively out of nowhere. That and let me put a bow on what I'm saying by saying this. That's the kind of shit you need to have a special season. Like those kind of people to come out of nowhere and just contribute and come up with that pinch hit RBI game winning single in the 10th. And then again, Birdie is in there for defensive reasons and he happens to hit a home run, game 10 home run in the 8th or something, right? And just those little things that you have to have a deep roster. I think that's what we're putting together right now is the deep roster. So your numbers wouldn't be out of question. However, I'm going to temper it a little bit and just say it's funny. I'm going to temper a little bit, and I'm still in like the 600 win percentage range or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you guys think of? Shoot down my rationale. Go ahead. I do it to you guys.
No, you make a lot of sense. I'm just, like I said, being a little bit overly optimistic because I just have a feeling that a lot of things are going to go right. And I don't know. I feel like comparatively, our division is not nearly as good as a lot of other divisions. And I think now that we have a complete bullpen with back-end arms, we have a power hitter, And I think the Kyle Tucker effect is going to go beyond his play. I think having him protecting the rest of the lineup is going to be such a huge difference. If you go back in 2023, when Suzuki went on his tear, that's when Bellinger started to hit. And that's when Swanson found his groove. So I think having somebody that will hit for average and homer and hit high home runs, I think that's going to really just boost our win numbers.
And you just gotta cross your fingers that he rubs off on Bush a little bit,
Oh yeah.
Because go ahead.
Oh, my only knock on your prediction is that you mentioned that we got to do well outside of the division a moment ago.
Yeah.
I don't think outside the division is going to be the problem for us, or is the problem where we will make up our ground. I think we're going to make up a lot of ground in the division this year.
Yeah, we're definitely the class of the division. I'm not. That's absolutely. But I think more. I want to see the numbers, and maybe I mistook the numbers. But I feel like there are more non-division games now than there were in the past, because I think they went from like an unbalanced to a much more balanced schedule. So we won't. I think there is going to be that element of you have to compete. Again, I'm talking like 500 outside the division, right? Or a little bit above 500 outside the division. Because I think we're going to do well in our division. I don't think other teams have much on us. Knock on wood, of course. But it's an exciting time, though. I think it's going to be a fun season. It's going to be it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great to talk with you guys every week. Just kind of letting you know that I was right again, or I was wrong. But yeah, guys, listen. That's it's been great chatting with you guys. Any final thoughts here before we start looking forward to opening day, baby?
Well, you just said it. It's opening day. Next time we talk, we'll be able to talk about regular season games. Yeah. Hopefully, at least one win. I look forward to dissecting both games on the podcast with you guys. And happy baseball season, everybody. It's here.
Okay.
Yep.
Rob, I imagine you echo those sentiments.
Yeah, pretty much. I got nothing else. I'm ready for Tuesday morning.
Same here, man. I'm just trying to stall and go to sleep late and wake up late so I can wake up one day and the Cubs are on TV. So with that is going to be our guys. That is the end of our preseason podcast lead up, and so we will next time we see you all, we will be talking about the 2-0 Chicago Cubs going to the World Series or the 0-2 Chicago Cubs going to shit. So you all have a good week, and we will talk to you next week. And all right, say goodbye, gentlemen.
All right, see you, everybody.